Before we proceed further and we start learning about NgRx effects, in this lecture, I want to give you a high-level overview of some of the common RxJS operators which we are going to use throughout this course. As we have learned before in this course, NgRx uses observables a lot while emitting a new state or while handling side effects. And that's why to handle the observable data or to transform it, we might need to use some RxJS operators. So in this lecture, we are going to have a high-level understanding of some of the common RxJS operators which we will be using in this course. So what is RxJS operator? An operator in RxJS is just a function that takes an observable as an input and it returns a new observable. So RxJS operators are nothing but a function which also returns an observable. Operators are the building block of reactive programming with RxJS, which allows you to manipulate, transform, and combine streams of data in a declarative and functional way. And RxJS operators encapsulates common patterns of data manipulation, making your code more concise, readable, and less error prone. So in this lecture, let's talk about few of the common RxJS operators which we will be using a lot when using NgRx effect and at other places in an Angular NgRx application. And let's start with the most common one, which is the pipe operator. The pipe operator is a method on an observable that allows you to chain multiple RxJS operators together. So we use pipe operator when we want to use and chain multiple RxJS operators together. And it is one of the most important operators for composing complex data transformation. So instead of nesting operators, pipe makes the flow of data explicit and easy to follow from left to right. Let's understand it with an example. So let's say here we have an observable which is going to emit these values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On that, I want to perform two operations. First, I want to filter those emitted values which is divisible by 2, and then from the filtered data, I want to transform the filtered data by multiplying 10 to it. So using the pipe operator, as you can see, to this pipe operator, we are chaining other operators, and these operators will be evaluated in the order in which they have been specified. So this off operator here, it is going to return us an observable with these values. On that observable, we are using the pipe method to chain other RxJS operators. And this is the main use of pipe operator. We use pipe operator to chain other RxJS operators, and they are separated by comma. So this pipe operator we are going to use a lot. Other than this pipe operator, we also have the map operator. Now the use of map operator is to transform each item emitted by an observable into a new item based on provided projection function. Let's try to understand it with an example. So let's say I have an observable which is going to return me two string values, hello and world. Now what I want is from those emitted values, I want to convert all those emitted string values to uppercase. So here, since we want to transform the emitted data, here we want to convert the emitted string value all to uppercase. Basically, we are transforming the data. And when we want to transform the data, we can use this map operator. If you see to this map operator, we are passing a callback function. Here we are using arrow function syntax. So this callback function, it is taking one parameter which we are calling as word. So in this example, this word is going to receive each emitted value, and that emitted value will be transformed. It will be converted to uppercase. So for each emitted value from the observable on which we are operating this map operator, for each of those emitted values, this callback function will be executed. Okay, and this callback function, we are calling it as projection function. So the projection function which we pass to the map operator, it gets executed for each emitted value from the observable. Okay, so whenever you want to transform the data returned by an observable, we will use map operator. Next, we have mergeMap operator. So the mergeMap operator is also known as flatMap, and it is a powerful flattening operator. It maps each value emitted by the source observable to an inner observable, and then it subscribes to all those inner observables concurrently, merging their emission into a single output observable. Now, this might be difficult to understand, so we will understand it with an example. But what you also need to remember about mergeMap operator is it does not maintain the order of the inner observable emission. So from the mergeMap, the data can be emitted in any order. So what mergeMap does is it subscribes to every inner observable created from the source observable. All inner observables run in parallel, and it is useful when you want to handle multiple requests simultaneously. So for example, let's say in your UI application, you have a button called load user data. Now, when this load user data button is clicked, you want to load all the users from the database and display it in the UI. Now, since we want to load the data from the database, fetching the data from the database might take some time, right? So if the load user data button is clicked multiple times, each click sends a request to fetch user data. So let's say this load user data has been clicked 5 times. That means 5 requests will be sent to fetch the user data. And all these 5 requests will run concurrently. And we don't know which request will finish first. So whichever request will finish first, its data will be taken and displayed. And then when the second request finishes, again its data will be taken and displayed. And when the third request completes, its data will be taken and shown. So here you see, when we use mergeMap can handle multiple observables concurrently, and the order in which the data will be emitted, that is not predictable. So you can use mergeMap operator when you want to handle multiple requests simultaneously. Now, just like mergeMap, we also have exhaustMap. So exhaustMap operator is another flattening operator, and it maps each value from the source observable to an inner observable, just like mergeMap. But exhaustMap ignores all the new emissions from the source observable while the currently projected inner observable is still active. Okay, and once the inner observable completes, it's ready to process next emission from the source. So basically what it means is when we use mergeMap, it can run multiple observables in parallel. But what exhaustMap does is it will only process one observable at a time. Once that observable completes, then only it processes next observable. So by the time the current observable is in process, it is not going to process any other observable. But in case of mergeMap can process multiple observables together in parallel. So this is the difference between exhaustMap and mergeMap. So what exhaustMap does is it ignores new emissions from the source observable while an inner observable is still running. So remember that it ignores any new emission. It does not queue the new emissions so that it can handle it later. Okay, and it processes only one observable at a time. Now, if we take the same example of load user data, if you're using exhaustMap to handle that, in that case, even if you click the load user data 5 times, unless and until the first click has been processed, the exhaustMap is going to ignore other clicks. Once the first click has been processed and finished, then after that, again when the load user data will be clicked, it will process the request. But as long as the request has been sent and the response has been received, in between that, if this load user data button is clicked multiple times also, that will be simply ignored by the exhaustMap. I hope you understood the difference between the exhaustMap and mergeMap, and also when to use exhaustMap and when to use mergeMap. Next, we have take operator. The take operator allows you to take only the first n values emitted by an observable and then automatically completes the stream. Now, when you will use take operator, when you want to limit the number of emissions, or when you want to prevent memory leaks by completing the observable. And it is useful in testing, polling, or retry logic. Let's see an example of take. So here we have an observable which will be returned by this interval. So what this interval is going to do is, after every 1 second, that means after every 1000 milliseconds, it is going to emit a value. So initially it will emit 0, after 1 second it will emit 1, after 2 seconds it will emit 2, after 3 seconds it will emit 3, and so on. Now what we want is, we only want to take the first three emitted values from the observable which this interval is returning. So for that we can use the take operator, and there we can specify the number of emitted values which we want to take and then complete the observable. So here this take, it is going to take the first three values emitted by this interval observable, and it will ignore rest other values, and it will complete the observable. So this is the use of take operator. We might use take operator in one or two scenarios in this course, but mostly we will be using pipe, map, and exhaustMap. So these are the few operators, few RxJS operators which I wanted to discuss about in this lecture. And since now you have a high level overview of what these operators are used for, from the next lecture, let's go ahead and let's start learning about NgRx effects. This is all from this lecture. If you have any questions from this lecture, then feel free to ask it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.